Mr. Transformers 96 here with another Transformers The Last Night custom figure, and this time it is the one that I've been promising, Onslaught. Very excited for this. Over the past, couple weeks, I've done all of the Decepticons. Basically, I did Nitro, which I mainly just kind of updated and added some things, and then I did a full Mohawk as well as Berserker, and then Barricade I did a couple months ago, and now I have my finishing figure to complete the Decepticon team from the last night, being Onslaught. This is quite exciting. I have to say this is probably my most extensive custom that I've ever done. Actually, it's arguably the biggest figure that I've ever done a custom on. I've done some Voyagers in the past, but they've all been from Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, or The Last Night. So this one, taking the base of it from a Revenge of the Fallen figure. Revenge of the Fallen figures are just bigger in general, and therefore, it's kind of bigger in general. And then all of the other Voyagers that I've ever done were just repaints. They didn't do anything to the actual mold. With this one, I had to actually physically change a lot. So let's talk about it. First of all, very excited about how it came out. I very much liked it. As you can see, it is clearly, and it should be, just a redone version, or I use Lawn Haul as the base. That's obvious. In the movie, they basically use Lawn Haul as the base. I do like the way that they designed some of the Decepticons from the last night. Instead of just reusing the same character in a different bright color, they basically reuse characters and then change details on them and made them transform into something different. So I do like that there was a little extra effort, and they even kind of designed completely a few new ones like Mohawk, Barricade, and Megatron, but Nitro, Berserker, and Onslaught, were just kind of updated versions of past designs. So it made it nice that I was able to have a base figure that so perfectly matched the one from the movie, because obviously they just used that design. So was able to use that. What I did here, and I will talk about the concept art picture that did just come out, because it does look slightly different, and I'd like to explain why I did mine the way I did. But anyway, how I started out, I cut the side of these arm sections. I cut those right off. I cut the entire top assembly piece off, and then I took off the this little piece that's attached to the top. I took all of that off. I left this section on. And then with all of that off, then I started, I also cut off the hand here. And then what I did was I started out with the claw. Now the claw, I had an idea of what to do before I started making this custom. I have a figure, and it wasn't even my idea. I did see this on Instagram. Somebody they took the claw from this one figure and just kind of just put it on his arm. They didn't really do anything with it, and it was still red, because originally that's red. But still, it's not my idea, so I can't take full credit for it. But I did take the claw from the Transformers Prime when they did the Beast Hunters version of the line. They had a deluxe Starscream, and he came with a weapon that was kind of a very long kind of weapon thing that you can squeeze, and the claw would clamp down. And so I took that, I cut it, and I glued it onto the back. I bought another one, got just the claw on eBay for $4, so I was able to cut that even more extensively, glue them together to give the double blade effect, because obviously in the movie he has a double blade on his claw. And then also just on the side here, instead of just having it end completely, I kind of capped it off with this piece so that it looked like it didn't just end oddly. That's from the same line, the Beast Hunters Transformers Prime. What is it? Not Hound. Bulkhead I think his name was Bulkhead in that show. Yeah, Bulkhead. I used this little piece. This is just a little piece that was on him. Don't really know, so I just glued that on so that it kind of meshed better. These do still maintain articulation. The top one has full articulation. It can completely clamp down. The last one, unfortunately, I screwed up a bit because when you clamp it down, there's a little piece at the back that kind of comes up, and before I put this piece on, I should have cut it even more extensively, and unfortunately I didn't, so therefore he doesn't completely clamp down on the back section. as you can see, this is as far as it goes in, so that's a shame. So I can't get him to completely close both of his claws. However, they can, of course, both completely open. So that's how I did the claws. The gun I struggled with coming up what to do, because I wanted to look accurate, and it had to be kind of like a Gatling gun at the end. I ended up just kind of going through my accessory box from Marvel figures, and I found two of these guns. These are actually two separate guns that I glued together. I cut a few pieces off of and glued them together. This is from the 3 3/4 inch Iron Man 2 War Machine. This one, I don't really know what it's from. My guess is it's from, just based on looking at it, I'm getting Captain America, the Winter Soldier vibes from it. I think it might be from like Winter Soldier from that series. Maybe not Falcon. Yeah, it's probably from Winter Soldier or one of the Captain Americas. Not quite sure. But anyway, glue them together. I actually think it looks very nice. Size-wise, I think it's pretty perfect. And I think it turned out very nicely. That was my biggest issue, trying to come up with that. Then the wheel section, I needed wheels to go on his back because he has these big wheel, pieces on his back in the movie. In the movie, though, he does have 3 wheels. I will say that. This one I only did 2, but that's just because I couldn't really find one with 3 wheels, and the 2 was good enough. It totally works. I'm just noticing I've got some green here. I'm gonna have to paint that up. But anyway, these wheel sections are from the Transformers, Age of Extinction leader class Optimus Prime. They're just on his back. I did have to cut, an extensive portion of the backpack off, and then cut specifically just the wheels off. Also, he has a Western Star logo here and Autobot symbols in each of the hubcaps there. So I did have to kind of just burn those out. I just kind of melted those symbols down. So they don't look fantastic, but I didn't want those symbols on Onslaught. Can't have an Autobot symbol on a Decepticon. That would just be insane. So yeah, I did have to take that off. And then as far as some of the other just small details where they came from, these pipes came from the Transformers Deluxe class Ironhide figure, the movie Ironhide figure. They were just on the figure, and I was already planning on customizing that one, so I just kind of removed them from him. And then the little claw sections on the feet, those are from Laserbeak. They're part of his wing section, so I was able just to cut that off and glue it onto this figure. And there you go. So I think that it turned out really nicely. It maintains all of its articulation. This section goes up. Oh, and also these little spikes, those are from Berserker. I needed the ball joints from these spikes for my Dreadbot custom, so I had the spare spikes, and I was planning all on to use them for Onslaught. It worked out very nicely, And in the movie, he doesn't have these spikes exactly. He has actually 2 separate spikes. This side has different spikes than this side. However, I just wanted to kind of represent the spikes, so that's what I used. Oh, and then this necklace piece, definitely wanted to include this, considering I included the necklace for Nitro. This necklace is actually from the Hellboy 3 3/4 inch Wink figure. He comes with a alternative hand that that's him shooting out his metal hand that's attached to a chain. So I just kind of cut it down and use the chain from that, and then use the ball joint that actually goes into his hand as the wrecking ball piece that hangs on his necklace. So that's what I did there. I'm actually really happy about that. I think that turned out really nicely. It was actually kind of hard to get it around his head just because there's not much clearance on the sides, but I was able to do it, and I think that really is just a nice finishing touch to it. And then of course I painted the entire thing green. As you can see, it's a much different green than the Long Haul figure, so I painted the entire thing, added silver details, added a few black details, added some red stripes. These were incredibly hard to get on. I don't have stencils, so I kind of made my own stencils. It was difficult. They're not painted on the best. They're decent, they totally work, but obviously they're not as straight as they could be. In the movie though, they're kind of roughly done, so it doesn't, it didn't really disappoint me that it didn't come out machine perfect, but it's still not 100% perfect, but still it works. And then I did add some white stripes on the thighs there under the cages, because he does have some white details on him. And then I did add a bit of white detailing on the shoulders right here. Added that white detail, and then obviously just silver detail everywhere. The gun, I painted the gun black, and then I added just a silver kind of wash to it, give it a lot more interesting look. When it's just plain black, it really doesn't look good. It just, I mean, it looks fine, but it looks very plain. And he maintains all of his articulation and everything like that, so he's fully articulated. He's non-transformable. When I posted my review of the custom Dreadbot, I got so many people asking me if it's transformable. No, it's not. It's all of my customs mainly are extensively, redone. I've had to cut things off, and I've had to put other things on it. He obviously doesn't transform. I really don't care about transforming figures anyway. I certainly wouldn't do it for customs, and Long Haul transforms into a dump truck. Berserker transforms into like an SUV. Those things don't match the what my customs transform into in the movie. So I have no intentions of leaving them customized or transformable, because if I did, then they'd basically just be straight up repaints, and what they transform into wouldn't even be accurate. So yeah. Oh, also, the concept art that came out did show some things. So if you're looking at the concept art and you compare it to mine, there are some things that are different. However, mine is completely based on the movie, basically. The concept art looks cool. I love seeing it. Great to see all the details. However, that's not what they went with for the final product. It's very close, but there is a lot of differences. First of all, that one has a hand on the concept art. In the movie, there was no sign of him actually having a hand visible on screen, and there was a comic release to promote Gillette razors that was an official comic by Transformers. Onslaught was featured in that comic, and you could really get a good look at that his character design. He does not have a hand in that, and in that he's the closest to the movie. He has all the updated stuff that the concept art has wrong. So therefore, I take the comic book one as his final design, because he has all the updated pieces that match the movie, and he does not have a hand. It's very clear he doesn't have a hand in that. So whether I do believe that maybe Onslaught one time had a hand, because it does mention in his little bio that his weapon is new, the claw is new. So there is a possibility that he had a hand before and he changed it out when he developed his weapon, or maybe his hand can transform into a hand, or his claw can transform into a hand. But there is no hand in the actual movie itself. So that's why I did go completely with cutting the hand off. Just wanted to put that out there in case anybody asks. As well as in that concept art, there's a lot of things that are different, like the toes are silver in that, and in the movie they are not. They are green. He doesn't have the spikes on the wheels. He does in the movie. He's not wearing his necklace. He does in the movie. He has 2 guns on his arm. In the movie, he has 1. So that concept art is really cool to look at. But if you're just comparing it to my custom, there are some things that are different, because I purely wanted what he looked like in the movie and not the concept art. So there are some differences there. So yeah, giving you a group shot, because it's awesome to see the Decepticons together. Here we have Nitro Zeus, Barricade, Dreadbot, forgot his name there for a second, sorry, Dreadbot, and then Mohawk. Here's all just like the foot soldiers, basically, of the Decepticons from the last night that go into the city. Really love all these together, I have to say. I was very disappointed that they weren't making a lot of these. So to make them myself is great. I really didn't think I could do it. Like a couple months ago, it was only when I discovered like how to cut plastic using heated up blades, so that I could really kind of cut any piece of plastic, that really gave me the knowledge to know that I could actually make these customs. So I'm very happy with all of these, and I will be making another video, probably posting next week, where I will be just comparing all of my custom Decepticons together. Just going to do a big custom Decepticon last night video, and going to be going more in depth with the set and kind of my personal favorites and how I did them, and also how I plan to update them, because I do have an update in mind for Nitro, and then I'm considering an update for Dreadbot. They're minor things, but they are definitely changing the figures a bit slightly. So yeah, so I did definitely want to talk about that. But there you go. There you have my custom Decepticon assortment. As you can see, I think that they look great. And I'm thinking that Onslaught may be my favorite out of these. I really do like what I did with Nitro, but I love Onslaught. He's looking fantastic, in my opinion. I might also, kind of update him in the future by giving him a more worn, weathered look. He's very clean right now, but I think that the clean matches the Decepticons in general a lot better, because really the only Decepticon that looks dirty or damaged is Dreadbot. Everybody else has a very clean look in the movie, so, I might kind of wear down Onslaught a bit to kind of fit more with the movie, but still, for now, I'm going to leave it clean like this, because I really do like it, actually. I think the shade of green is pretty perfect, actually. So yeah, so there you go. So that's my video review of my custom Transformers The Last Night Voyager class Onslaught figure. Let me know what you guys think of it, and as far as what customs I have coming up, I have a ton planned, actually. I keep adding to my list. However, I think the ones that I'll probably do the first coming up is Day Trader. I did decide to do Day Trader, even though I had to buy another Hound. I did want to do Day Trader, so I decided to do that, as well as Crowbar. I think that those two are going to be the next ones that I do, but I kind of have an extensive list for myself. It's a little overwhelming. This Onslaught took a long time to do, probably the longest of any of my customs. I kind of just took like 2 solid days to work on it, actually. But yeah, so there you go. There's my group. There's my Onslaught custom. Let me know what you guys think of it, and thanks so much for watching.